Alright guys, so I'm gonna talk about experiment 3 with you. In this experiment, you'll be determining Avogadro's number. This will be your first time, probably, unless you've had Chem 1 before here, that you're gonna use the veneer equipment and the LabQuest. This is the LabQuest part. It's like the computer part, and you're gonna hook different probes up to the LabQuest, and it can like measure temperature, measure current, pH, things like that. So it is technology, so be patient with it. They're not hard to figure out, but it does take some getting used to. Okay, so anytime you need, we're using these, the LabQuest part, this will be on the charging stations that are on the front lab bench where you turn in your weekly paperwork. Okay, then whatever probes you need should be at your lab station for you. We're doing that a little differently than I used to do it. I hope that this method works better because the other method drove me crazy. Alright, so this week you should have a constant current system. If you don't for some reason, all of the veneer equipment is in the rolling cart behind these two back hoods. I would rather you ask your instructor or your TA to go get it for you, but if they're busy, they're in that rolling cart, but each drawer is a different probe. So, constant current system is what you need this week, as well as a black thing that says electrode support. That is all the veneer equipment that you need for this week. Okay, so before I show you how to work all that, let's just look at your procedure and let's go through it together. So, the first step in the procedure, it's really hot in here. Whew. Says to use steel wool to clean a strip of copper and a piece of zinc. So, we're going to reuse our copper and zinc strips for several different labs. So, if they've already been used, that's why you want to clean them well with the steel wool. These have not. I got 2 new pieces. Then you're going to take these. I think you only need, you only need the mass of the copper strength. Copper strip. So you're going to take this to a balance and weigh it. Use the same balance every time so that you'll get accurate results. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to go back and you're going to fill a 250 milliliter beaker with 1 molar sulfuric acid. So I have my 250 ml beaker. These should be, you should have at least 1 in your drawer. If you don't, there will be extra on the, they kind of look like bookshelves, I don't know, on the back wall. Okay, so it says fill it 3/4 full. I would probably do about 125-ish or 150. It doesn't have to be exact. We just need enough in there to run the experiment. So it is an acid. Sulfuric acid is an acid. You will find sulfuric acid in the front hood, and you'll just pour it carefully into your beaker. It is an acid, so treat it with caution, please. Okay. Then, let's see, gently turn the dial on the constant current. Let's go ahead and open our constant current system. Alright, so your constant current box should have this piece of equipment along with a charger is what it kind of looks like. It's the power supply. So the first thing you need to do, you want to turn your knob all the way counterclockwise to make sure you're at 0. Then I'm supposed to be at a birthday party right now. It's a Saturday. This is what I'm doing. But it's like a kid birthday party. Like, why do people invite me to that? Do you want me to go down the water slide with your kids or something? I don't know, kind of weird. Anyway, I'm gonna use that I'm at work as an excuse. So here I am. Alright, so I put the power supply, I plugged it up to the constant current system. This is the #1 problem I have in this lab, is instead of connecting this power supply to this constant current system, they plug it into the LabQuest and they're like, I don't know why my constant current system's not working. It says 0. All right, let me show you. You plug it into the constant current system, then you plug this into the outlet. Now your constant current system will work, okay? So that was what I found in my constant current system box. Okay, let's see. So step number 5 says clip the zinc to the black lead. So my zinc to the black lead. And they're little alligator clamps. So I just push down and open it and stick my zinc right in there. Now you're going to connect copper to the red lead. Same thing. Okay. And there's that. So that's step 5. Step 6 says plug the constant current system into electrical outlet. I've already done that. Then it says connect the sensor cable to channel 1 of the LabQuest. Alright, so the only cord I have remaining that's not plugged up somewhere is this one. So it says to connect it to our LabQuest. To turn the LabQuest on, there's a red button on top. You just hold it down until it comes up. Here is your home screen. I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it into channel 1 up here at the top. Okay. Now if I go to home, there's also a stylus for this on the end. Alright, so if I go to the home menu, this is what I see. That's my current reading there. Okay, so let's see. It says turn on the LabQuest and choose new from the file menu. You don't have to do that. Just go to the home screen, which is what I'm looking at right now. And you're going to click on, I hope y'all can see this, up here at the top. You can click anywhere as long as it's at the top. And it says change the data collection rate to 0.2 samples per second and the duration to 180 seconds. So when I clicked, let me go back. When I just clicked up here, it took me to this screen. So now I'm going to change my rate to 0.2, done. And it changes the interval for me, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing you need to do is change the duration. Mine says 1800 seconds. I just want 180 seconds. And then you press done. Everything's like we want it, and you click OK. Okay, now it says to put our strips of metal into our beaker of sulfuric acid. All right, this is where your electrode support is going to come in. You're going to attach your electrode support. Let me show you. to a ring stand. The ring stands are the furthest back wall underneath the table. Okay, so I'm just going to connect this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my electrode wires through these two places. So there's too many cords. Alright, so just fish it through there. Alright, there, I about got it. You can go through all this work, or you can just hold it. It's really up to you. But alright, so now I'm going to place my electrodes in the beaker. Make sure that the electrodes are immersed in the solution to equal depths and as far apart as possible. So this electrode support will keep them as far apart as possible, and it should have them, or it's easily fixed so that they're at the same level, within the sulfuric acid. You don't want the sulfuric acid to get on your alligator clamps. Please don't do that. So those should be up out of the acid. So I placed them in my sulfuric acid. Make sure, okay, step 9 says start data collection. Data will be collected for 3 minutes. Observe the reaction carefully. Note, be ready to turn off or unplug the power as soon as the data collection stops. Okay, so what does that mean? All right, so on your LabQuest, when you get to this step, you're going to press, there's a play button down here at the bottom. You're going to press play. And it's going to take you to this screen. Because I have no liquid, it's not actually going to do the experiment. But it's going to take you to this screen, and it's monitoring the current as the time goes. Okay? What it means by be ready to unplug or turn off the constant current system when your 180 seconds is up. The easiest way to do that is just unplug the power supply, okay? You want to stop the current as soon as your 180 seconds are up. So when it's done, just pull the power supply from your current box, okay? All right, so I still need to give you instructions on how to actually start. So once you press play, step 10 says check the reading of currents from the meter. So right here, if you go back to your home screen, the home screen is, so this is like your menu bar. The home screen is the furthest one over. And that's where you'll see the current displayed. In step 10, it says to adjust the settings to set the initial current to 0.2 to 0.4 amps, okay? So I am going to try to do this so you can see. When I move this knob, it will change my current, and you'll be able to the current will be displayed right here, so you'll know when you've adjusted your knob enough. Because I don't have any liquid in my beaker, you see the current's not changing, okay? But when you have liquid in there, it should be changing. Again, if it's not, make sure your current is plugged up, your constant current system is plugged up to an electrical outlet. That's #1 problem I have with this lab. Okay, so that was step 10. When the data collection is complete, turn off or unplug the power supply and carefully remove the electrodes. So again, as soon as your 180 seconds are up, just unplug it. Then you're going to remove your strips. You only have to remove the copper strip because you're going to go weigh it after the first run. Alright, so carefully rinse, I'm on step 11, rinse the coppered electrode with distilled water, pat dry the electrode with a paper towel, and then measure and record the mass of the dry copper electrode. So I'm just going to take it out of this. I'm going to take this off, still water, pat dry, reweigh. Then you're going to determine the average current applied during the experiment. How do I do that? Alright, it tells you to choose statistics from the Analyze menu. Okay, so if I go back to my graph, I just clicked the graph. Okay, here I was when I was reading. I was adjusting my current. Now I'm going to hit this graph button at the top. There's where my data is. So if I go up here at the top to Analyze, I'm going to choose Statistics from the drop down. Then another box pops up that says current. Statistics, current. And then when I do that, it displays some information over here to the side. That is where you're going to get your mean current from that first trial. So if you look at your data sheet, here's the data you're looking for. You're looking for the initial mass of copper, the final mass, the average current, the time of application. You're doing this 3 times. All 3 times, the time of current application will be 180 seconds. You will get the average current from this side right here for each trial. The initial mass you recorded, then you recorded the final mass. Well, your final mass for trial 1 will be your initial mass for trial 2. And then your final mass of trial 2 will be your initial mass of trial 3, okay? Because you've already weighed it. Alright, so going back, you got 2 more trials. Clean the electrodes. They should be clean, okay? Because you rinse it with distilled water. You never have to take the zinc strip out of the water. You leave it, it's not water, it's acid. Leave it in there. Sorry, I'm just so sweaty. Alright, clean the electrodes, measure, record the mass, then reconnect the electrodes and repeat steps 8 through 13 for 2 more times. Okay, so what I would do, I'd put my copper back in my beaker, reconnect, stop, don't do that yet. Go to your lab quest. Over here, this is my results from trial 1. To keep your lab quest in the same setting, like for it to record for 180 seconds, what you need to do is you need to click right here on the filing cabinet button, and it will take you to run 2. Okay, that's the same as trial 2. Okay, then plug back in, turn your knob down, and then plug it in. Then once you have your electrodes in the beaker, make sure that your current is reading between 0.2 and 0.4 amps. So again, I'm just going to move this knob, until it reads that. What else? When all 3 trials are complete, clean the leads with distilled water, dry with a paper towel, and return them to where you got them, either on the rolling cart or under the hood. The sulfuric acid solution can be poured down the sink because now it's just copper sulfate and that's just a salt. So it can go down the drain. So beaker contents goes down the drain. That's it. I hope I touched on every issue that has come up in the past so that you don't have issues today. I will see you soon.